With toy haulers continually growing in popularity, we check back with Jeff Johnston and a review he did on the Coachmen Freedom Express. Then, if you find yourself on Route 80 in Nebraska and looking for a place to stop for a while, Michelle Fontaine recommends the perfect place the whole family will enjoy, the great Platte River Road Archway. It's so easy to find and access as it actually spans over Route 80, and it's definitely well worth the visit. This year looks like another record year for RVers traveling the country with their pets. On this week's Paws On Board, Dr. Fitz explains to us the regional dangers your pet could face in various parts of the country and how you should be prepared. RVing and picnic lunches go hand in hand. And this week, Britta Nelson shows us a few slightly different and delicious picnic ideas you may want to prepare for your friends and family on your next outing. These stories and our big Get Powered Up contest on this week's RVing Today TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Forest River. Follow the river.
Toy hauler trailers are extremely popular today, and the Coachmen Freedom Express we tested with the Ram 3500 truck is a good example of that RV type. The Ram did its expected good job of hauling the trailer to Riley Ranch County Park. ParkSense Rear Park Assist helps when solo, but towing, you'll want to shut it off to avoid hearing the alarm when backing up with the trailer. These new trucks have a lot of really fun features. But one thing about today's modern pickups that I'm really a little bit puzzled about, and all the manufacturers are doing it, they're making the beds higher and higher. Now I'm about 6'6", and if I have something I want to put in the bed, like firewood, it's a reach over for someone my size. Now if you happen to be a normal size adult, a little bit shorter, this can be quite a chore. Fortunately, this particular Coachman trailer has a solution to that. We have a really cool metal rack up here directly above the batteries. That's a cargo rack. It can be used to put a generator on there, just about anything. As you can see, we have it piled up with our campfire wood for the night. It's a nice feature. More trailers ought to have this. The forward cargo rack makes good use of the open space above the trailer batteries. The new Freedom Express Blast from Coachman Industries. Coachman, of course, is a name that we've known for a long time in the RV industry. A lot of our parents, maybe even grandparents, use Coachman products. This is the Model 283BL toy hauler. Everything from approximately this point back is all garage, and we'll show you more details about that when we get inside. Out here, you have smooth fiberglass sidewalls and Alumicage construction, meaning the walls and ceiling are all framed with aluminum, and it has Asdel composite underneath the exterior skin, which is part of what gives it its certified green compliance by TRA certification. And that's kind of a nice thing to have today. The axles are spaced out a little bit. This is to apparently increase stability and such when you're driving. We towed this thing and boy, it just followed along behind the truck like a dream. Now up here, the solar panel you see by Go Power, it's a 120 watt unit. This is optional. Now the only exterior storage they have on this unit is up front, but it goes all the way through and it's a really good sized compartment. So there's a lot of long things that you can stash in here. And there's also a convenient tray that's strong enough to support something like a generator. We used it for a pile of firewood. That is a really neat item which helps to keep the dirty stuff out of your vehicle and out of the inside of the trailer, especially if you have critters like the giant spider that my wife found on one of the pieces of wood and decided she had loaded enough pieces of wood for the day. I finished that little job. The front also has a power jack, which takes a lot of the work out of it. Around on the other side, we have the appliance connections and so on. Let's take a look at them. As per usual practice, all of the trailer utility connections are grouped on the driver's side. The garage door loading ramp unlatches easily and can be opened or closed by one reasonably able-bodied person. Coil springs on the ramp hinge provide most of the needed weight support. This Model 283BL has a lot of your typical toy hauler features. Number one, the garage comes right up to this point approximately, so the back of the stove and the back of the refrigerator cabinet, it's living up front and it's garage out back, and living, but we'll look at that in a minute. Up front, we have a conventional queen-size RV walk-around bed. There are shirt wardrobes on either side, storage overhead, and a pair of really bright overhead LED reading lights available. Plus plenty of plug-ins and of course USB connections. It's a split bath arrangement on either side of the hall. On the driver's side, you have the toilet and shower facility. Over here on the passenger side, you have an overhead cabinet with a mirror so you can get beautified after your ride. The sink, good size sink actually, little storage cubby for your toiletries and more storage underneath. All very conveniently located. Over here on the curb side, you got a good size refrigerator, lots of room. There's a little bit of storage overhead. The furnace is down underneath. Now over here in the kitchen area, boy, this is really nicely done for even enthusiastic cooks. You got a really large single bowl sink. That's the kind of big sink that RVers have been asking about for a long time, with a faucet that sticks out far enough that you can get things under it to clean them. The stove is a Furrion 3-burner with oven, which is kind of handy. Convenient flip-fold glass top that works well. Furrion microwave oven overhead, and an interesting variety of storage places. You got enclosed cabinets with these almost retro-looking stained glass or glass finish doors, and overhead cubby holes with these elastic securement nets. There's a bar stool height dinette table curbside with a great window view that folds away when not in use. With the sofa beds folded flat, there's maximum storage space in the garage. Fold the seats up and lower them, and you have lots of seating space for guests. Flip the seat backs over and they make into a queen-size bed. The Lippert power mechanism lowers the main bed from the ceiling, and you also have the large lower bed available. Coachman and Lippert seriously need to supply a printed instruction manual for these operations. And when you have more people to eat than just the two that would sit at the little dinette table, you have this cool little portable table that stores in a slot in the storage compartment up front. And that becomes your additional dining space. The Ram 3500 and Coachman toy hauler are an effective combination. We enjoyed our time with the trailer and truck. We think you would too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you to our friends at Garrity RV in Junction City, Oregon for use of this trailer. To learn more about the Ram truck or Coachmen Freedom Express trailer, log on to our website.
Aquachem toss-ins. So fast and easy to use, it could seem like a game. Aquachem, the most powerful odor control available and the #1 seller for over 50 years. Want more RVing today? Then visit RVingToday.tv. Besides our weekly show and extended segments, you'll find additional stories and videos along with insightful information on what's new and what's happening around the world in RVing. From luxury RVs to unique camper vans, and from RVing with pets to RVing with kids. You'll find it all and more in RVingToday.tv.
Do you ever find yourself wanting to travel a few hundred miles in one day and wishing there were a cool place that's easy on-off the highway to break up that long day? Hi, I'm Michelle Fontaine, and if you're traveling on Interstate 80 through Nebraska, I've got the perfect spot for you. The Great Platte River Road Archway Monument is the first and only museum to straddle a U.S. interstate highway. The Archway's parking lot was designed with large pull-through spaces. Exit 275 is an easy off-ramp. And while the interactive museum is the highlight of this area and charges a reasonable ticket charge, there are many free amenities as well. There's a 10-mile paved bike and hiking path. There's a very nice picnicking pavilion and many outside exhibits to enjoy. You can even fish and kayak in their pond. The Archway tells the story of pioneers, innovators, and adventurers who built America. The Archway is the vision of Governor Morrison, and the initial plans for the monument were unveiled August 28, 1996. The engineers in charge of building the Archway were faced with the challenge of erecting a 1,500-ton structure that would eventually be suspended above one of the most heavily traveled highways in the Midwest, and doing it in a way that would not impede the regular flow of traffic. How's that for a challenge? Let me show you a bit of the inside of this entertaining museum.
Welcome to the Archway. Welcome to the Archway.
This is a self-guided tour, so you can take as long as you want, and I spotted several children who seemed really quite absorbed in these narratives. The Archway's exhibits include 21 life-sized characters that are actually cast human figures. In a process similar to making dental molds, entire figures of real people who match the exhibit designer's vision were cast to provide a level of realism that can't be achieved using mannequins. The figures are surrounded by murals depicting the Oregon Trail, the Lincoln Highway, and the night scene on the Transcontinental Railroad. The Oregon Trail was an early American wagon route, roughly 2,000 miles from Independence, Missouri to Oregon Junction, Oregon. This arduous and dangerous passageway was used by hundreds of thousands of American pioneers. As the Western migration scenes end, we're welcomed onto the Lincoln Highway, known as the Main Street of America. As we move into this area, it feels more like modern nostalgia. For some, to our parents or our grandparents, and to the youngsters' great-grandparents. I hate to age myself, but I can remember drive-in movies. Can you? The mural in the diner was painted by Kenneth B. Gore and provides a summary of the 180 years of history shown in the Archway. Many of the faces of the people in the mural are said to be those of craftsmen who worked on the Archway's building and exhibits. While you're in the diner, you'll most certainly be drawn to the window, which shows the current traffic on Route 80 underneath you. As we head down the escalator, there's more history to be discovered, but we'll let you discover that. There's also a very well-stocked gift store, and I was able to find some pretty unique gifts for my grandkids. So as you can see, there's enough entertainment and relaxation for an hour or half a day. While the Archway doesn't offer overnight parking, there are several close RV parks if you're in the mood for that.
Off-the-road adventure camping to luxurious full-time RVing and everything in between. Forest River has the RV to fit your needs, budget, and outdoor lifestyle. To see our full line of trailers and motorhomes, visit forestriverinc.com. Forest River. Begin the journey. It doesn't matter if you own a motorhome or small teardrop trailer. Everyone can use more power. With that in mind, together with our friends at Go Power, we're holding a Get Powered Up contest with a grand prize everyone could use. A Go Power DuraCube 500-watt portable power station, paired up with a 100-watt Duralite expansion solar panel. Along with the grand prize, we're also giving away 5 DuraPack 8-watt solar portable power packs, one each week for 5 weeks. To learn more about the contest and prizes and how to enter, visit our website at RVingToday.tv. RVing Today is powered by Go Power. Paws On Board is brought to you by Jones Natural Chews, American sourced and made in America.
Welcome to RVing Today's Paws On Board. I'm Dr. Fitz, and this is Ace. Today, we're going to be discussing fleas. Yes, these are the dreaded little insects that can hitch a ride on our pets and make them scratch like you've never seen. So what exactly are fleas? Fleas are small insects that are found in most outdoor environments. They find their way onto your dog or cat and hitch a ride for the remainder of their adult life. They survive by taking small blood meals, kind of like a mosquito. And then fleas will lay their eggs, which fall off your pet and into the environment. This gets us to why fleas are such a problem. The flea eggs that fall into the environment, or in other words, your house or RV, develop into a pupa, which is similar to a cocoon. They will then do one of two things. They will stay dormant and wait until conditions are just right to emerge, or they emerge right away as an adult flea. The entire life cycle can take as little as 2 weeks, and female fleas can lay several thousand eggs in their lifetime. This means that a small flea problem can quickly get out of hand and turn into an infestation within a matter of weeks. Fleas also pose a health problem to our pets. One of the most common issues that I see as a veterinarian is FAD, or flea allergy dermatitis. This is a condition in which pets are hypersensitive to flea bites, and the bite of only 1 or 2 fleas can trigger a severe allergic reaction. These pets are intensely itchy and often develop severe skin infections. In addition to flea treatment, these pets will usually need antibiotics and steroids to feel better. Fleas can also be the source of systemic bacterial infections following a bite, some of which can spread to people. They can also be a source of tapeworms if your pet ingests a flea while they're grooming. Needless to say, all of these conditions, allergies, bacterial infections, tapeworms, and household infestations can be avoided with one major component: prevention. Preventative products are key to preventing flea bites and infestations. There are many different formulations available, including flea collars, chewable products, and topical or spot-on treatments. Most products last for about 1 month, but there are several on the market that last longer. You should talk to your vet about which product would be right for your pet. So we know that flea prevention can prevent infestations, but flea prevention is also used to treat infestations. Generally, products need to be used for at minimum 3 months in a row, if not longer, to fix a flea problem. Remember the pupa stage I talked about earlier? These can lay dormant for 4 months or more, biding their time until they have a host nearby. This means that if you store your RV for the winter, you could have a resurgence of fleas once you take your first spring vacation. If you have your pet on an effective preventative product, you can essentially stop the flea life cycle. This is exactly why most veterinarians recommend year-round flea prevention. An important note about flea prevention is that it is species specific. Do not apply dog flea products to cats, as they can have life-threatening reactions to these medications. Finally, if your pet has fleas, cleaning your house or RV is a must. Fleas like to burrow deep into fabrics, meaning blankets, bedding, and rugs need to be washed well and carpets vacuumed frequently to get rid of the fleas. Here's a quick check that you can do at home to check if your pet has fleas. You can grab a flea comb, which is a super fine-tooth comb like this, and comb through your pet's fur. You comb around the base of the neck and the head, and then around the tail base. You may catch some adult fleas, but you might also see a collection of black specks. If you see these, try to smear them on a paper towel with a small amount of water. If they leave a rust-colored trail on the paper towel, you're seeing flea dirt or flea poop, meaning that yes, your pet has fleas. As I said before, preventing fleas is much easier than treating them, especially when on the road. So make sure your pet is up to date on their prevention before leaving for a trip, and save yourself the headache of an itchy pet. For more information about traveling safely with your pets, visit RVingToday.tv. Tune in next time for more pet health information. I'm Dr. Fitz, and this is Ace. Thanks for watching Paws on Board.
Someone once said, the camping doesn't really start until the RV awning comes out. Whoever said that really knew what they were talking about. Carefree of Colorado, celebrating 45 years of RV awning innovation. For more information, visit our website at carefreeofcolorado.com. When you have a Truma AquaGo instant hot water system, you can expect to make a lot of new friends.
Hi, I'm Britta from Trailer Chicks, and today we are traveling up the Columbia River Gorge, and we've landed at this beautiful vineyard, the Grand Dalles Vineyard. The first picnic I've put together has a French theme. So I made these delicious sandwiches. They are made from a baguette, and then layered in there, we have some really nice vinaigrette, some hard-boiled eggs, canned tuna in olive oil, fresh basil, some red onions, red peppers. If tomatoes are in season, those are also good. So then you layer that, wrap it up tightly, and then put heavy weight on it for a couple hours. And these can be wrapped up for 12 hours. They're good to go. When most people think of potato salad, they think of mayonnaise. This is actually a vinaigrette, and it's really nice, fresh, tangy flavors. It's got lots of fresh thyme, a little Dijon mustard, garlic, olive oil, and I packed it in this great mason jar. And then to finish it off, I have some grapes here, which are nice, cold, refreshing dessert, or you could get some cookies or whatever you like for dessert, a brownie, something delicious. So that's a great, easy picnic. Just 3 things, and it goes perfectly with a nice dry Riesling. Our second menu is an Italian themed menu, and it's going to start out with some olive ciabatta. And I've made a white bean and rosemary dip to go with that. And then the entree is going to be a really nice chopped salad. Everything is chopped nicely. It's something you can prepare ahead. And I've layered it in this big jar. Some lettuce, red peppers, some cucumbers and celery, marinated fresh mozzarella cheese, some little cherry tomatoes. And at the top, there's a mixture of salami and prosciutto and some black olives. For the salad, all I'm going to do is just pour the vinaigrette on it, kind of shake it around, and then you can toss it a little bit in the jar when you're serving it. For dessert, I've brought some nice fresh fruit that's in season, and some mascarpone, which is a nice creamy cheese to dip it into. We just have some strawberries, some apricots, and some fresh Bing cherries. The third and final picnic menu is an Asian-inspired menu. I made some grilled steak last night, and I had some left over, so that goes really nicely on top. It's a noodle salad with rice noodles, cucumbers, carrots that you peel, radishes, cilantro, some big hit of mint, and some nice salted peanut. And then the dressing is really simple. It's got the classic components of Vietnamese food, the salty, sweet, sour, and hot. And you can just pour that on, toss it to eat. It's perfect. And then for dessert, I just cut up some tangerines and some melon. And this melon has a little extra added deliciousness. I took a little coconut milk and chilled it and mixed in a little lime juice and some brown sugar. So that's just drizzled on top with a little mint. And that is a beautiful Asian-inspired picnic lunch. Great with a dry soda if you don't want to drink, maybe you're on the road and you don't want to drink and drive. This is always great to have this soda. It's specifically made to pair with food and not too sweet. So that's a really nice pairing.
more information on anything you saw in this week's episode, visit our website at RVingToday.tv. This has been another fun production.